it's a program that offers a financial incentive to the county if they make a certain number of alcohol-related arrests. And so if you're the police officer and you know that you're going to be viewed favorably and you're going to get the favorable shifts, you're going to get the good overtime pay, as long as you make a lot of alcohol-related arrests, then that's going to provide an incentive for you to push the line.
There's 3 other vehicles in the driveway, but they're not tucked away. 23, it's going to be 14-9-058, 248 calls, back to 98 dudes, 4-door trailer, Robert out of Toronto.
Is it possible at all that officers are being too aggressive with DWI?
In my opinion, no. I think, in all honesty, with the frustrations that go along with it, I don't think an officer would put themselves through that or make an arrest that they didn't feel needed to be made. We have a passion for this, but that doesn't mean that we're going to go out and put people in jail that don't need to be in jail.
First 19, 2013, around 27.
Hi there. How you doing? I'm Deputy Gary with the Sheriff's Office. Can I see your license, registration, insurance, please? The reason I'm pulling you over is I've been following you for a couple miles. You've been having inconsistent speeds. You're driving between 42 and 50 miles an hour and the speed limit's 55. You had your cruise set? Yeah. Okay. And then you kept drifting off to the right, crossing the line, swerving back and forth. I hope not. Okay. Where are you coming from tonight? Where were you before that? How much have you had a drink tonight? Nothing. Nothing at all? Huh? No. Do you take any medications, prescriptions, or anything?
No, I take ibuprofen for some back pain.
That's it? What is that, a bat? That wooden handle back there? Protection? All right, nothing to drink tonight. Just a Well, you know, obviously I was concerned based on your driving patterns, so Yes, sir.
Okay. Would you be willing to perform some voluntary field sobriety tests?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would you be willing to perform some voluntary field sobriety tests?
You a medical concern or something, or? Huh? No. Yes, sir.
Okay. Would you be willing to perform some voluntary field sobriety tests?
You don't take any prescription medication? You appear to be under the influence. Huh? No?
No.
You appear to be under the influence or something. Okay. All right. Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to check you out real quick, make sure you're okay to drive on it.
That's mine.
Yes, sir. Okay. Would you be willing to perform some voluntary field sobriety tests?
For me. Would you mind stepping out of your vehicle? Is the emergency brake on? Can you step out for me, please? For me. Would you mind stepping out of your vehicle? Is the emergency brake on? Can you step out for me, please? For me. Would you mind stepping out of your vehicle? Is the emergency brake on? Can you step out for me, please? Figure out whether you are or not. I don't feel comfortable letting you drive on.
Yes, sir. Okay. Would you be willing to perform some voluntary field sobriety tests?
For me. Would you mind stepping out of your vehicle? Is the emergency brake on? Can you step out for me, please? That's all indicators to me that you're possibly under the influence.
Just happened to eat.
Okay.
I had Methuselah, I know that.
Okay. You don't think I'm right? No, I haven't checked you yet. Okay. If you're not under the influence, what's the problem with me checking your eyes out? Huh? You what?
I think you did this with your finger.
I didn't do anything with my finger. What I was doing was looking at your pupil size based on my fingernail. I'm just requesting you let me check your eye.
Oh, you did that.
No, I didn't. Okay. That's what I just told you. I used my fingernail to look at your pupil size. All right, sir, here's the deal. I want you to understand, okay? I believe you're under the influence.
Yes, sir. Okay. Would you be willing to perform some voluntary field sobriety tests?
All right, sir, here's the deal. I want you to understand, okay? I believe you're under the influence based on factors that I'm looking at here, based on my experience, okay? If you don't want to allow me to conduct a DUI investigation, can you step out for me, please? Can you step out for me, please? Can you step out for me, please? We'll base my arrest decision on the evidence I have at hand, okay? And your refusal to cooperate can be used against you in court. Do you understand that? Okay. Are you going to cooperate with the DUI investigation? No, you're not? Okay. Go ahead and step out of your vehicle.
Your Honor, if I could just, the evidence was so lacking because he double refused, and we had a DRE. Your Honor, if I could just, the evidence was so lacking because he double refused, and we had a DRE. Your Honor, if I could just, the evidence was so lacking because he double refused, and we had a DRE.
The government, particularly portions of the Highway Patrol, have become lawbreakers, okay, and have institutionalized the breaking of the law, basically to make money for the state of Utah.
In the lawsuit Sykes is filing, he's asking for an injunction to stop the Highway Patrol from making illegal DUI arrests and wants to undo all DUI convictions where a state trooper was the only witness.
One of the underlying themes in criminal justice is the presumption of innocence unless proven guilty. However, this currently does not apply to DUI for some unexplainable reason. That's because DUI is the most politically charged crime in the United States today, and through the media and powerful DUI lobbies like MAD, or Mothers Against Drunk Driving, have led a calculated disinformation campaign. Their propaganda is aimed at brainwashing the public to the point that anyone accused of a DUI is assumed to be guilty. On top of that, the ways the laws are structured, cops don't need any solid evidence to arrest and charge you with a DUI, relying on purely subjective indicators. It's a perfect example of, quote, "you're guilty because I said so," end quote.
I've seen too many innocent people arrested for drunk driving, and I've seen innocent people convicted of drunk driving, and I want to make the system more fair. Checkpoints are a publicity stunt. They're not effective.
I feel that it is morally and legally wrong to have a financial incentive for officers to make alcohol-related arrests.
The arrests stem from a federal program, the Selective Traffic Enforcement Program, or STEP. Packard says the problem is the program offers financial incentives to the county.
And one of the interesting things about the STEP program is that the goals are measured on arrests, not convictions. And so it doesn't matter if all these arrests get thrown out, as long as they have the arrest, then they get the points, which allows them to stay in the system and get the money.
With that in mind, would you be willing to submit to a urine sample? Without an attorney's advice, I really don't have an answer. Okay, well, that's let me explain to you that that's the Florida Implied Consent policy, and Florida Implied Consent, you don't have the right to speak to an attorney first before making that decision. Your card? What card? Yes. It's called the BUI Implied Consent. Win any money tonight? Huh? No, why? Do what? No, why? I don't know, I figured you were coming for casino both.
DUI is the most politically charged crime in the United States today, and through the media and powerful DUI lobbies like MAD, or Mothers Against Drunk Driving, have led a calculated disinformation campaign. Their propaganda is aimed at brainwashing the public to the point that anyone accused of a DUI is assumed to be guilty.
10,000 people last year, though, did die in drunk driving accidents, per the feds, and that is why Mothers Against Drunk Driving, which supports checkpoints, stands firm.
The fact is that driving is a privilege and it's not a right. No more victims. We are looking at this point to say that we can end drunk driving at some point in my lifetime. So we are looking for no more victims.
Okay, it is not illegal to drink and drive. And we have to pound that into juries sometimes, because Matt has done such a good job of indoctrinating them that don't drink and drive. Alcohol and driving don't mix. It doesn't matter if you only had one drink. Well, that's not true.
Now, Rhode Island State Police are partnering with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to step up DUI patrols over the next couple of weeks. Now, starting today and running through Labor Day weekend, you'll likely notice more officers on the roads on the lookout for impaired drivers. During this period ending September 5th, state and local law enforcement officers will adopt a zero-tolerance policy towards drunk driving, meaning no warnings, just punishment.
One of the interesting things about the STEP program is that the goals are measured on arrests, not convictions. And so it doesn't matter if all these arrests get thrown out, as long as they have the arrest, then they get the points, which allows them to stay in the system and get the money.
Okay, it is not illegal to drink and drive. And we have to pound that into juries sometimes.
Is it possible at all that officers are being too aggressive with DWI?
In my opinion, no. I think, in all honesty, with the frustrations that go along with it, I don't think an officer would put themselves through that or make an arrest that they didn't feel needed to be made.
And we're going to start with a story that will have a lot of you talking. A man charged with DUI and held in jail, even though his breathalyzer test came back 0.0. He's now suing the city of Winter Park and speaking out to Local 6's Kristen Giannis.
According to these records, Francesco Aiello's breath alcohol level was 0.000, and when his urine was tested for the presence of drugs, the results came back negative. Still, Aiello says he spent 24 hours in jail and was charged with driving under the influence.
There's been a bombshell ruling in a case that could have a serious ripple effect. Several DUIs have been thrown out in Scottsdale because the judge says there's faulty software in the city's crime lab. Jared Dillingham joins us live. And Jared, that equipment and that software, that's been processing cases for years, correct?
Right, since 2009, Fields, and tonight the police chief here in Scottsdale is standing behind the work being done at his crime lab, even though this judge came down really hard today on the equipment and the staff there. It's the Scottsdale Crime Lab itself in hot water. Specifically, this piece of equipment used to test DUI suspect blood.
The very first day it was out of the box, it had a problem.
This group of attorneys filed suit claiming the machine's faulty software inaccurately processed DUI cases for years.
The very first time they used it, it failed. And it just kept on failing, month after month, error after error.
And a judge today agreed with them, citing malfunctions, mislabeling, and jams affecting 11 specific cases. But these attorneys say the judge's ruling opens the door to anyone arrested for DUI in Scottsdale to have their case reviewed.
So you're talking about hundreds of cases? No, I'm talking about thousands of cases.
Could it affect everybody whose blood has been tested on that machine? Yeah, it could.
Despite today's ruling, the city attorney's office says it maintains full confidence in the evidence evaluated by their crime lab and is prosecuting cases in Scottsdale City Court as normal while the ruling is appealed. Still, the DUI attorneys are claiming victory.
This was like a hushed-up story that nobody wanted to disclose. Now it's out in the open.
No more victims. We are looking at this point to say that we can end drunk driving at some point in my lifetime. So we are looking for no more victims.
Is it possible at all that officers are being too aggressive with DWI?
In my opinion, no.
In the lawsuit Sykes is filing, he's asking for an injunction to stop the Highway Patrol from making illegal DUI arrests and wants to undo all DUI convictions where a state trooper was the only witness.
Your Honor, if I could just, the evidence was so lacking because he double refused, and we had a DRE. Your Honor, if I could just, the evidence was so lacking because he double refused, and we had a DRE.
Including a doctor. Packard says he was charged with DWI. Months later, his blood test showed no alcohol detected. Even though the case was dismissed, the deputy got credit for the arrest. As for the doctor,
is unable to get his medical license in another state because the state medical board thinks he's got a substance abuse problem. Meantime, he was completely clean.
Mr. Simmons, will you state an offer, please?
Yes, Your Honor. I think I've been working this out with Mr. Kernan. State's offer would be at this time to offer a careless driving adjudication of guilt statutory fine.
Say that again. You're amending this to careless driving?
I am.
Careless, a civil infraction
I am.
with an adjudication of guilt?
Correct. And on the count of
And
the
the statutory fine?
Correct. And on the count of the tinted window, it'll be adjudication of guilt as well.
I don't have that. I'm not showing that.
That is citation
May I have a
number
file, please?
424019W. That doesn't sound right, but. In this case, the defendant blew .031 4.028. The officer requested urine. Nothing came back in this urine.
Okay.
And it is 10 violation, yes, 424019W.
Was there some, from what I'm seeing here in the arrest affidavit, I don't see any indication of careless driving. That wasn't the basis for the stop.
This is the agreement that we reached with Mr. Kernan.
Okay, is this an agreement or?
No. I don't, Your Honor, I don't think it was an agreement reached with Mr. Kernan. That was the offer that was extended. Mr. Hernandez is familiar with that offer, and he has rejected that offer. We are ready for trial in this case.
State will be then asking for adjudication on the tinted windows.
Okay, so what are you doing now? Are you dropping the DUI?
The state at this time will be dropping the DUI.
So that's a null pros on the DUI.
Correct.
Please announce that.
State announces a null pros in case number 2012 CT 40451 to the count of driving under the influence and request of the court.
Okay, now I don't see a citation for the tinted windows.
Citation number is 424019W.
You pay that or anything, did you?
No, because you don't get anything.
There is no such citation in the system.
You don't give me anything.
Okay.
He said there were tinted windows, but there's no
Okay, that's what he told me.
citation in this file, and they're saying that number is not in the system.
The number that they gave to our office, I'm not sure why they did not file that with the clerk's office then.
Just want to double check it. Let's get the number again, please.
4240.
What?
There is no citation, Your Honor, at this time.
Okay, so that the case is over.
That is correct.